we'll get to that when we get to the crypto part of today's show. So, right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the RationalInvestor.co's daily brief. We're having some fun watching Taylor Swift and Shake It Off. I had quite an eye opener this morning on our account. So I'm not quite sure how to deal with it actually, but we'll have to figure it out. I always like to start off these daily briefs with a quick look at the dashboard, see what we got here. And I think the theme, generally speaking, lately in the stock market has been sort of, we had a face rip move up out of the election, release the spirits, whatever you want to call it. That pattern seems to have exhausted itself, put in a fairly well-defined market structure top here, and we've just been slowly cleaning this market up since then. I really love the fact that our internal algonator itself went into divergence here right up near the top. So you could definitely use this tool to help you time your purchases and sales in the market. And then, you know, location, this happened to be like a 200% extension on things like the spiders. We talked about that at length in previous videos. Coupled with divergence, coupled with a nice structural signal, and you actually have a half-decent trade setup here. I've kind of fat-fingered the trade a bit here. I did take the short, and then on this dump, I blew it out, and I was, you know, being a bit smart-ass. I'm going to hunt 78.6s to get back short in, and now it looks like, you know, the bus is kind of leaving me behind, which kind of sucks, but unfortunately, you know, this is a trader's life. You know, they often say, and I used to find this actually when I sort of really first contemplated being a prop trader. You know, it's one thing to have opinions about markets, and guys, you know, try and use this as good learning experience for yourself. As another guy who's in the market, trying to, you know, just be a trader, if anything, you know, just use both the successes and the errors that I have as good learning fodder for you. The irony of it all is the principles don't really change. So long and short of it here, market structure top, failure. I hopped off the short, took a little profit, was thinking about trying to get back in on a nice serious test of these highs. They took the market back up, and we have even a few site members that totally sniped this top here. So I was so proud of them. So, you know, the principles that we're teaching are great. Didn't quite rally enough for me to get back in on the short, and you can see the market is looking pretty darn sanguine here. And it's really interesting how, you know, and this is often, this is a fantastic lesson, guys, about sometimes it's just not in your best interest to tanker. And one could argue that that original short is still working and nothing's really changed there. I don't know, you know, we looked at the January barometer, and it said the market was going to have a big jump up out of the gate and then go sideways for a few months and then have a little bit of a further rally. And I should probably keep that chart handy for you guys. But long and short of it here is, I think we did, you know, here is the beginning of the year, so we did have a big run up here. How deep this goes here at this time, I don't know. I mean, I definitely could see 38.2s and coming back against all of these tails. That really wouldn't surprise me. But the January barometer actually suggested that we were going to be parked in a trading range for a while. If this does fall apart, technically speaking, I think we have some pretty realistic levels, 38.2, 2260 against all these tails. And that's probably going to be represent, you know, 50% levels, 2217. That's, you know, a nice stab into this area, maybe on some insane sort of threat of, you know, nuclear war or something from Donald Trump, just big old fucking bitch slap of the market, back down against value high. That wouldn't surprise me one bit. And it would sort of clean up a lot of the excesses coming out of the election. But I don't know, the January barometer didn't say we were going to go that deep. So let's see how this plays out. The interesting thing about, you know, technical analysis, and we've talked about this lots in the past, is that you can kind of sort of see the future. The irony of it all is I do definitely think we definitely have to trade back down into this area. We can sort of see the future, how it plays out. Do we have to come back up, maybe kiss the highs, then dump down into here? I don't know. But I definitely think we do have to come down into this area at some point here. So really interesting to watch this short actually just continue to play itself out. Let's see what happens. You know, we do have on a summer bond call proxy, and one could argue if the stock market is going to break apart, then, you know, money will flee into the bond market out of just, you know, sort of flight, what they call a flight to safety. I know, of course, a lot of crypto enthusiasts have a big problem with that word, you know, safety and quality when we start talking about government bonds and things like that. But I do see a cute little bull flagpole that's actually developed here. This is hopefully all you guys can see the little AB equals CD that's developed. So I'm feeling optimistic that this trade's still going to work, and we still have a few months to go here until expiry. I can very easily see a rally up into this area here over the short term. So let's see how that plays out. And that would be predicated on the stock market continuing to work its way lower. And then we have a stock short proxy on. This is the bank put that we bought. We were looking for a stab down into these areas. I suppose if you know, like my sort of nightmare scenario, I hope I didn't scare you guys with that you know, nuclear war kind of talk. But frankly speaking, that wouldn't surprise me in this world that we live in, that people actually do start throwing around the nuclear threat. That, you know, we're looking for the dump on the bank stocks and all, and the rally in the bond market and stuff to see this trade work. We got a couple more months left to go. Do we get down into these gaps by time expiry comes along? That's a tough one. What I may do is, if we do dump and we rally on the bonds and the position is at scratch, I might just take the market and just roll the position right out to a deferred month. But I do feel like, you know, these trades have got some potential. As we had said before, we'll know that this bank short idea is working in earnest if we break this key low here. So let's keep our eyes peeled. Little stocks, I was pleased to see that our little pharma stock got its butt back above a couple bucks here. But nothing to be done. And the capstone, that was a half decent little trade idea coming off the bottom. I think it could work its way up into this area, kind of gaps. In fact, the bond chart and this chart look very similar. And hopefully what you guys see is a lot of altcoin charts that I buy look almost exactly like this too. So it's not a coincidence. You know, hopefully what you guys see is actually, gee whiz, there's a lot of repetitiveness to what Brian does. I suppose the only other thing stock market wise, we like to take a look at the gold and the energy. So quick boo. Oh, yeah, somebody did have a request, but I think it was a crypto, so we'll get to that later. We had a bullish bot set up working on the gold here, coming out of this resolution here. The signal fired in here. I won't do up all the levels, but you guys can check out the video from yesterday if you want to see those levels. Actually, I'm a little surprised that this didn't load, but anyway, I think the stop to break even level was hit. I kind of think that we need to go up and fill in this gap up top here. And I did see, I was looking this morning at the Japanese yen, and I noticed that there was a gap up there as well. If we pull up the yen, see this gap here on the yen? And I kind of think, remember we had said that there was a bullish bot that set up on the yen here as well. So it kind of looks to me like both the yen and gold moving with the yen, and the yen. And it was interesting because even in the lounge this morning I had said, you know, guys, please understand, currencies lead everything. The gold doesn't lead the market. Probably what's happening here is people are losing faith in the US dollar. They're taking their money out of dollars and putting them into yen, and that's what actually boosts the gold price. Because in essence, everything has to sort of stay the same. We do see a bit of softness in the US dollar index. Ooh, look at that. Cute little fractals actually fired here. It did leave a gap, though, so that's a bit suspicious. But you can see, remember we talked about this recently, the double top. In fact, this looks like a head and shoulders now. And remember we talked about how the fact that this was a really important level that needed to be traded to on the US dollar. This was a mountain man level. This top up here into the US election, right? The handover from the Democrat president back to the Republican president, in essence, the US dollar was absolutely the strongest right at that sort of event. And that was a higher time frame mountain man level. And so in essence, bam, in comes the head and shoulders. And you know what? I found this fascinating, right? The US dollar was very strong through Bill Clinton days. And I lived through the dot-com boom. It was just all US dollar, rah, rah, rah. Nothing was going to get in its way. And I watched slowly through basically the first 6 months of the Bush presidency, all of the small pieces all put into place to set up the US dollar getting destroyed. And of course, you know, the crude oil market, especially with the Bush family, put in a substantial bottom, and a woohoo, away we go. I don't know what the drivers are this go round, but I do know that Mr. Trump is a Republican president. We should be expecting US dollar weakness going forward here. And of course, we know that our cycle, you know, apex is supposed to be later on this year, and Brian's ranting about Jupiter and Saturn crosses in 2020. So get ready, folks. I mean, it's not a surprise people are getting rah-rah bullish on gold in here, and we find out the cost of production is $1,200 or whatever. Get ready. You know, all the pieces are in place. You know, the question is, you know, really, actually, you know, it all comes down to this. And this is sort of your lesson of the day. All students, of course, will know this. It's never really a case of right or wrong. It's really just a question of how do you read that line? And there's no wrong way to read that line. But there are definitely two distinct ways to read that line. So how do you look at this world? I would actually argue that opportunity is now here. I sure hope all of you see that as well. Anyway, the point that I'm just sort of trying to pound the table here today is the writing is on the walls. Question is, do we want to listen to it? All right, that's kind of fun. Sorry, went off on a bit of a tangent there. I did see oil inventories here this morning. There's now, well, nowier? I don't think that's a word. I'm just kidding. Crypto, that's right. Crypto for the win. The only other thing we should probably talk about is the energy market. My hunch is that this was a topping area here. Inventory numbers came out. It was interesting. Actually, there was a drawdown in inventories. So that might sort of, you know, keep a little bit of a range here. And you remember like Loic was popping in the lounge. So nice to see him on the site. He was doing some work with crude and the Canadian dollar. I highly suggest to, you know, all of you, if you are really interested in being energy traders, to really sort of get the feel for the way the Canadian dollar leads the energy market, because it really it works as an excellent proxy there. And we were looking at the Canadian dollar, and I was actually watching the video yesterday, because that's, you know, just for fun, that's what I like to do. As I sit and I watch my daily briefs back. Talk about a narcissist, eh? And I was noticing, you know, this is a really interesting battle zone here on the Canadian dollar. You can see how it's really trying to hold on to value low here. And I was wondering, you know, looking at this, remember we had talked about the double top there, but it's interesting how this thing popped up violently here today. And I think that was on the news of the inventory drawdown. Anyway, I don't know. That's interesting. We pulled up that Canadian dollar there. It had a big update. Maybe there was some positive econs out of Canada. I guess what that might tell us here is maybe we just got to expect a bit more sideways here on crude before any sort of serious break comes. And you remember in yesterday's video, I was kind of like, you know, I think I want to wait for some sort of candle setup here. At the absolute best, you know, if I did want to short this, right now we've got, you know, pretty wide sort of bull bear battle lines. where there's now your top and yesterday's low is the bottom. And I think we're, maybe we carve out a nice empire, maybe we carve out a fractal, I don't know. But I want to see some sort of signs of failure in here before I get too excited about shorting this. And then seeing the way the Canadian dollar jumped up there today, I think I got to cool my jets. Just let this top develop. It is a fantastic trade location. The irony of it all, and I think I sort of talked to you guys about this recently. If you are, hey, I am a range trader, I short against highs ends of ranges and I buy against low ends of the ranges. Well, this is basically telling you, you got to take, you got to go into super stocking mode here. No doubt about it. And just, become like a fox, right? Just, there's Thomas is in the lounge. He's just joined us. Take a page out of Thomas's book and turn into Mr. Shark shorting the top of the range trader. In fact, I think that's exactly what he did on Bitcoin here recently. So, but anyway, so the point of the matter here is if you are a crude trader and your trading plan is to short against tops end of the ranges, you got to go into fucking super stellar mode here. All right, so that's the broader market. You missed our shenanigans about gold, and actually we didn't take a look at silver, did we? Silver, let's see, back up to near top end of the range. So if anything, actually, this is setting up a little bit better here. And probably if we see, say, like a 2-hour chart, we might see it a little better. There it is. What chart pattern does this look like, guys? Who could tell me? Here's your trivia for the day. This is actually really simple. This is a cute little pattern. Actually, it's so cool doing these little videos because I never know where the learning's going to come in. So who can tell me what chart pattern that is? Hey, Sebastian, nicely done. So hopefully what you guys can see here is Sebastian answered cup and handle, where that is our teacup. And now this is our handle. You guys see that? Can anybody see that? If you want, take a screenshot of that. It's a really good example of a cup and handle, where very simply put, a break through the lip of the cup is a huge buy signal. And really your target should be the distance from the lip down to the bottom of the cup. Like so. So in this case, and this makes it fairly simple, right? And really what you should do if you are trading this is you should go out and look at probably like the July contract, figure out what this lip high is, and really it's just a buy on stop. You're going to risk the handle, and your ultimate objective is the lip. So that sets up a sure, we want long. So boosh, boosh. Oops. What are you doing, you silly bug? There. 2.36 risk reward. Not bad. Does everybody see that? So there you go. There's your tutorial for the day. Can you throw daily on? Let's just, in fact, I often suggest you guys just grab your journal. I hope all of you guys are journaling, right? And if you come to these daily briefs on a daily basis, usually I give you something to chew on. Well, there you go. Right, there's the screenshot of that, and go and throw in that into your journal. What did I learn today? The daily chart, let's see what kind of levels those set up for us. That's up in there. And of course, this, guys, please understand, I'm not saying this is a trade here right now. I'm not saying that for a moment. Does everybody understand that? Does anybody not understand that? Hello? Come in, Tokyo. Am I still recording? Right. The trade Oh, look at that. We lost somebody. Julian said, oh, fuck, I'm out of here, man. The trade is on a break, and my hunch is that this will be the July contract high. So the trade is on the break of the lip of the cup. It is not right here. And one might even argue, if you zoom in really closely, can you see that the market is failing right here? So if anything, what this is saying is a recapture of this level and fucking rock and roll. But not until that happens. Please understand that. Is there anybody who does not understand that? Anyway. And really this makes sense to me too, because what's ending up happening here is energy is being built up. I'll look at the daily in a second here, Thomas. Energy is being built up here. And the only way to actually get price up into here is you got to, can you guys see that there was a ton of buyers, right? And then they just fucked them over, right? So the big boys just got, and then boom, they brought the market right back in here. This is coiling, just tons of energy is building up here. And if we break up through the top here, that energy needs to be released. Yeah, that's right, Garrett. All right. So just really into, I mean, you never know where this fucking learning is going to come from on a daily basis, guys. This is the great part about this site. There's people that would pay like $1,000 for a seminar on how to learn how to trade a fucking cup and handle. There you go. Everybody, I mean, seriously, bookmark this, record this, screenshot this. This shit is gold. Anyway, went off on a tangent there. Sorry. Okay, so to placate Thomas, we'll just take a quick boo at the daily chart. And what this would imply is a bullish resolution of this actually looks like a big head and shoulders. Can you guys see the head and shoulders here? Boom. Boom. Whoops, not that one. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Infinity, to infinity and beyond. What the hell do I want? I want this one. Boom. Boom. Up. No, it's messing up the levels. Boom. 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 Something like that. I just, do this very quickly. Can you guys see the head and shoulders? So in actual fact, if this thing does break out here, the head and shoulders says that we're going probably somewhere. I wouldn't be surprised if these, oh yeah, that says it's going up into there. And really that would make sense because in my opinion, I think silver is way undervalued. But can everybody see that head and shoulders? That's a cute little pattern. And actually, can you see there's a cute little head and shoulders inside this head right here? Actually, this is a great, Marty. Can you remember we just did the level 1 and we talked about, in the fractals module, how we talked about the Canadian flag and how you often see fractals within fractals. And really the head and shoulders pattern is nothing more than a fractal. I think this is a really, really good example. Jesus, you guys are getting fucking tons of information here today. That's cool. All right. Anyway, so the point of the matter here is if looks like, and really this is the top of value, right? If we accept above the top of value, it means we can start exploring higher. And I think, what is that? Let's call it 18.5. If you see silver above 18.5 area, then you know we're off to the races. And Da Vinci, of course, is going to cream his pants. I don't get a laugh out of you there? Oh, there you go. Okay, enough of the real world. Let's head over to Magic Internet Moneyland. Bitcoin. Uh-oh. Oh, poor old Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin's been a funny asset of late in that it's basically just been a rise-only market, which scares me a little bit because I don't, like we look at the, oh boy, people are sending me messages. Oh, Julian, shut up, Brian, you're talking too much. UPS, oh, okay. Oh no! Damn it! Seriously? I told them to call me anyway. That's another thing. Isn't that's Murphy's Law? Eh? I don't know whether Julian's here or not, but anyway. Okay, so let's get back to task here. So somebody asked me to look at SIB, Casey. So we should do that for Casey. I did want to make a comment. There was actually a cool chart of Loix there. But I wanted to make a comment about Bitcoin here before we get into the alts in earnest. And I was looking at, down 20 bucks now. Okay, so this is sort of, sometimes when I look at these charts, they get so confusing because, you just get so much written on here. With regard to the person's comment about market symmetry, sadly, our market symmetry kind of suggests that, hey, we actually kind of should be looking for a bit of a down move here. So that would be the way I would be using this information here. Cycle-wise, if this is anything like the previous cycle, there was supposed to be some sort of peak in here, and now we should actually be looking for a bit of softness. You can see we're just flirting with this trend line. And my message for the past couple of days has been, I can't get bearish until, number one, I start actually seeing a candlestick sort of pattern that actually validates failure and a break of this trend line. And it's interesting how here today, right, we had a nice up bar to new highs yesterday. Today's bar is inside those highs, and it's flirting with our trend line again. So we might, right, let's let this candle finish. We have no idea how this is going to finish. First thing this morning, a couple hours ago when I looked at this candle was right up near the high, and there was very little of this body. Prices started to sag here a little bit. And so let's see. I mean, maybe today is the inside bar, and tomorrow will give us finally our break of this trend line, and we can start to see, them clean up this just rise only market. If that is the scenario, where am I looking for support to come in? I think, obviously these candle tails are very interesting areas down in here, as well as this tail. And GWIZ 38.2 is that tail. And our reload zone off of this recent range, 61.8, 78. And 78.6 all the way down against this candle body low. But you can see that reload zone comes into play on these tails. So, no doubt about it, there is a bit of risk now being priced into good old Bitcoin. We're back above 1,200 and change here on Phoenix. As we had said, all the Phoenix people are all happy. I still think, though, that there is a bunch of stops just sitting up here that could be fodder if they really wanted to. Remember I said the other day, if you ever see the market break out of highs and it's breaking higher and you have these bull-bear battle lines and you're kind of asking, where do you think the market's going to go? I said, who can remember what I told you guys? This was probably like the middle of last week. I said, hey, very good, Kevin. Excellent. You can already see where I'm going. If you see a breakout and you're kind of wondering where the fuck is this thing going to go, sometimes it's a good idea just to look left and see what happened the last time, price was in this area. And as you can see, this was a straight line down. So as a result, on this breakout here, if you look left, you got to think, well, shit, the next resistance is like up here. And sure enough, we've worked our way up into that area. You could argue that we're actually into, and I don't know whether this bar made the high. Yeah, it looks like it. You could actually argue that we are now officially into the institutional fingerprint, right? That actually starts right there. These two bars are where they sort of stop this bull rally, and then the market failed and tanked. So we're now into that area, right? So, we need to be cognizant as traders, right? If there was an area on the price charts where the big boys are going to step up and defend levels, this is got to be one of them. I mean, this is about as clear gets. So let's really watch what happens up in here. I find it interesting, and it's a trader's life, right? If we look at things like the hourly OKCoin charts, it's been a lot of fits and starts to try and see where the hell this damn top's coming in here, right? Break to new highs, pull back, break to new highs, pull back, break to new highs, pull back. And, you know, this is an interesting sort of anecdote of a trader's life, right? Because I think on balance, this isn't a bad area to be thinking about hunting shorts, but it might take a few little sort of, you know, getting your fingertips, you know, singed before the top, quote unquote, actually comes in. You know, if anything, this is a great testament to, you know, when we have like statistical models and you can kind of see the rolling over nature of the market, you might have to book 2 or 3 trades, and it's not till the third shorting attempt that this thing actually does break in earnest, and you're like, woohoo, right? And it's kind of like the, you know, like the S&P, what I was going through there just over the past week or two. Be careful. And, you know, Brian is just as much of a human as all of you guys. I make just as many mistakes. And if anything, I need to try and, you know, cut the mistakes down just like everybody else, do more of what works and less of what doesn't. I kind of euchred myself out of a good short position there on the S&Ps, but, you know, hopefully Brian learns from his mistakes, just as all of us should on a daily basis. I think, you know, you know, if you were thinking, hey, this is a topping location, my setups are coming in, but I'm getting busted out, we need to understand that, hey, this is part of a trader's life. It's really easy, you know, banging out the doubles and, oh, you know, I knocked 10x on this thing and look how fucking smart I am. That's the easy, fun part of being a trader. Having the patience and discipline to have to go through multiple sort of setups that don't ultimately work. And I got to hand it to, you know, pros like Thomas, who can, you know, just keep at it day in, day out. Damn, this is getting boring. This fucking market's just not breaking. Okay, don't lose your focus. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. And then one day we'll be in the lounge and Thomas is like, woo, I fucking broke OK Coin. Look at me. Right? You know that day's coming, but he has to put through his hard, you know, hours, the hard slogging through this kind of shit to get to there. So anyway, I thought it was an interesting commentary. I think on balance, like I said, ironically enough, and actually I did up this chart because I just wanted to try and simplify the picture. You know, if somebody asked me, Brian, what do you think Bitcoin's market state right now is? I got to say sideways. It's a big fucking trading range. Don't get me wrong. It's like a 2x of the damn coin itself. But I would argue that really there's nothing more than just a trading range going on here. And if anything, this is a really good example of ranging versus trending market states. Sometimes you can have ranges within trends. Sometimes you can have trends within ranges. Sometimes you can have ranges within trends. Drive you crazy. But I think there's like a bunch of moving parts here. But the ultimate bigger picture is this sort of ranging market state. And like I said, it's a massive one. And if we think about it, I was actually starting to see, I don't know whether any of you guys saw this. I saw that there are some mining pools that are actually mining, and they have mined blocks of Bitcoin Unlimited. Any of you guys see that? It's up to, the acceptance is up to about 35% now. It's higher than SegWit. Oh, somebody came off the, hey, hello, who's that? Somebody's a leapfrog. That is Kyle. Hello, Kyle. I'm going to have to throw you on mute here, Chief. I can hear him typing feverishly. He doesn't realize his microphone is on.
That's off. That's weird.
Oh, now I can hear you. All right, there you go. I put you on mute. Anyway, so the point of the matter here is I think this is one big fucking trading range. Don't worry about it. It's all good. It's all good. Don't sweat it. I'm just playing with you. And within this trading range, right, and we can see wicks and tails, guys, you have to accept this, right? And this is my warning. This is what worries me. Is, I mean, these numbers are ridiculous. The fucking account's not supposed to go up 10% in like 2 days. This is getting nuts. And I'm worried that people are just going to sort of get comfortable with these numbers. I don't think this is sustainable. And this is coming from a guy who's done this for 25 years. Let's have some fun, and it's wonderful, and it's great to see this, but this is not sustainable. And if anything, I think day after day, every single fucking daily brief, I come in here and I go, let's calm down. Everybody just calm down. Have you guys heard that theme from me lately? I don't know. You guys are all like, no way, man. Let's keep this party going, man. This is crazy. Oh my God. Every goddamn day, Annie's banging off just ridiculous winners. I swear that guy's going to own us all pretty soon. Way to go, dude. I saw you banging out some pretty sweet trades here this morning. So hats off, dude. And I wanted to say to you guys too, it's a real privilege for me. It's a real pleasure, and it's a real validation of fucking 25 years, no, I guess 30 years now of my life to see you guys doing this. You're actually doing what it's taken me the better part of a career to validate. You guys are just doing this on a daily basis, day in, day out. And it's just such a privilege to come in and just hang out with you guys and just see you guys all acting so professionally and just doing it. Oh, it's so awesome. If JoJo could see this, you know, this is the shit, man. This is what she wanted. This is what she saw that I could do. And just look how many fucking people there are in this damn hangout. There's a validation of everything. So I mean, hats off to all of you guys. You know, you are the community, right? We are the community. Let's enjoy this while the enjoying is enjoyable, but at the same time, let's not get carried away. Right? I would rather be the ant than the grasshopper. Let's not get sucked into FOMO buying. Let's keep it conservative. If you are going to be buying stuff, try and buy shit that's out of favor and down at the bottom end of its range and nobody's interested. Right? That's the way you make money in this game, not chasing the shit that's making new 52-week highs. You also have to roll with the punches. Holy fuck, did I ever get a shock this morning with that stupid EXCL. Jesus, that's incredible. So if anything, maybe, set yourself up so that, no one story or, no one failure really hurts you too badly, even with these silly exchanges. Roll with the punches. Understand that price is not going to go up exponentially every day, that we may have to go through a month or so of actually price having to come back down, right? Just slow and steady wins the race. So on that note, I thought I'd just finish off today with just a couple ideas that I have been buying. I noticed in the community, we quite a few of us were buyers of good old Duck Note overnight. Please understand that Quacker is extremely heavy, so it's not for the faint of heart. You got to know what you're doing here, and don't risk more than appropriate levels in your portfolio. I'm long about almost 2 million of these damn coins. So, but the actual percentage of my account is staggeringly small. I think it's about 1.5% or something, maybe 2%. So, I noticed when I got the fill that a whole bunch of other people in the lounge also were reporting fills here at 10 ticks. So, and I think maybe they're just backing up to try and get our liquidity, and that's fine. I mean, I'll take a shot off of buying against lows here all day of the week. So if you, were able to join me on that, awesome. We'll see what happens. Only time will tell. But I think seeing 20 sats here is not out of the question down the road. And also in sort of an attempt to try and actually buy back the coins that I sold recently, I went and bought back some of this SBD, the Steam dollars. I don't know whether I'm ready to actually play that Steam coin. And actually, when I was looking at trade location, I wasn't impressed with it. I did really this trade more as of I wanted to own the position. They went and handed me a gift here for a double on this thing. And so I just literally took the capital and just went and bought the position right back. Bought into a bit of, we have a few names that came off their insane peaks and bought in. I think a lot of these names are probably just going to chug along where our entries, like this HZ, I saw that it perked up a little bit. But the HUC is just sort of backed off. The Jewel, I don't think, is really doing a hell of a lot. And please understand, guys, a lot of the times when I buy into these, especially for Little Old Lady, I'm not looking to bang out a double tomorrow. I'm not looking to bang out a double even, in the next week. I have no problem just throwing the sell up or order up and just letting the money work for me in the market. If it's a pound the table, strong momentum, you got to go in and grab this thing. I will definitely make reference to that specifically. Well, these are more just, in essence, just, work and stink bids against bottom ends of ranges and trying to pick up cheap coins. Please understand that. And in fact, my commentary of late has been kind of like what I'm saying with this crypto portfolio is I don't see a lot of like really juicy momentum kind of, pound the table, you got to load the boat ideas. I did see one actually the other. Oh, look at this fucking EX. This is insane. Oh, talk about, this is why I put that damn to Shake It Off Taylor Swift video on this morning. That's nuts, eh? So all of you guys that are still in this name, for heaven's sakes, go into spoon feeding mode and just slowly spoon feed the market, because you never know where the fuck the top is on this damn thing. It might be just some astronomical level. All right. One that I wanted to point out that I thought was looking really cute, this SYNX. We were buyers down against the bottom end of the range here, and I had pointed out that we were breaking out on not bad momentum signals here, not bad volume. But I can understand, guys, that, maybe a bit expensive to chase in here. But a good example of a coin, we're already long. We've already banged out, I think, a couple doubles on this thing here. But I could see this thing pop here. There's some really interesting price action on that one. And I've been watching him over the past day or two. But I don't know whether it makes a heck of a lot of sense to go and chase a name like that up there, though. And somebody asked me to look at SIB. So let's see what we got here. SIB. Not enough price action for me to get too interested in doing a heck of a lot of analysis. And then, of course, what is the actual low here? I hate when they do that. I think, on balance, we had a double bottom sort of come in off of this level in here. There's a little bit of a doji candle, so you can see the resolution above the doji, right? That's obviously a huge vote by the market. We're coming right back down to the doji top there. But what I've found in my personal experience with these is, I don't know what the market cap is. What is that? Yeah, $3 million. I mean, the question is, what do these guys do? Who was it that asked me to look at this? Somebody asked me to look at this. This was Casey. Casey, are you here? I don't know whether Casey is here or not. If you are here, chirp up. There he is. That was me. We talked about it yesterday too. Oh, all right. So we gave it the whole spiel. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that your request was addressed. So, traders, I suppose you could take your shots off of RLZs, but if we lose these lows, look out. And I don't like the look of that. And I don't like the look of that. Inside bar failure there. Don't like the look of that. So, that's, if it was my money, I think I might just, wait a bit for a little bit more anecdotal evidence of a bottom. Mind you, I suppose, if you wanted to take a shot, maybe, especially off that doji low, I could work stink bids against those lows there. If we lose this doji low, though, oh boy, better get the hell out of there. Okay, anything else in particular anybody wanted to look at? SJCX being backed by Bank to the Future. Oh, interesting. I think I was looking at that recently. That's a cute chart. Not really the best trade location for me. I can understand a big bullish resolution through here. So if it was me, for whatever it's worth, should it shock us that a bottom came in right through there? And then I suppose, right, now that we've confirmed this double bottom, if I wanted to work stink bids and try and buy this thing, I should be working my bids somewhere in here. And then I drill in a little closer and I see, hello, Mr. Gappy Gap, a nice little gap right there. So if you wanted to buy this one, I think you work your bid right in there. You may not get filled right away, and I have seen some of these stories in the past where this level just doesn't get filled in right away. But if I wanted to try and get in on the cheap, that's the level I'd be working my bid at. I think probably 2, maybe, if anything, I might even average, because it looks like there's a little gap right off a mountain there. So maybe a little nibble there and then a little nibble there. And I suppose one could argue, well, it's not bad. If you were trading this, if you did buy in here and we broke through the bottom here, you probably should walk away. Yeah. But even little old lady, that isn't a bad place for nibbles. 51 million out, $13 million market cap. That's pretty thick. But they've got a story behind it. I mean, I don't mind investing in names that have a story, right? Give me some sort of driver. So, it's the ones that are kind of like, they don't really have a story. So as a result, you're kind of wishy-washy. So, when it's got a half-decent story. So, okay, well, there you go. So that's 51 minutes. How do you think we did, Garrett? Shall we call it a day? All right, Garrett's giving us the thumbs up. So everybody have yourselves an awesome rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed the daily brief. All the best, and bye for now.